For countless number of years, we've had unending arguments about relationships, love, marriage, etc., etc. Today on Shakers TV, we want to roll it out in style. We want to have a comprehensive discussion that will have brilliant panelists here to give us their opinions, honest opinions, I repeat, honest opinions, from which we shall get objective views on how certain things about relationships should be running. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Patrick Kilama and I am standing in for Shakers TV today with my brilliant panelists here. Please let them introduce themselves. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kilama. I am called Ambrose Omega. I am a chef by profession, an F&B manager. F&B means food and beverages, and I'm a businessman. Thank you so much.
We are going to talk about relationships. What is your stand on relationships? Are you in a relationship? Are you married? Or you're still dropping it?
I am in a relationship, a very serious one. So I have my opinions. When time comes, I'll give you mine raw.
Thank you so much. Whether it's serious or not, we shall get from his opinions. And we have a very beautiful lady amidst us. She's a manager somewhere. She will introduce herself.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Chilama. My name is Cynthia Angel. I'm a manager at Pelma Financial Services.
Cynthia, are you in a relationship or you are still throwing a stone in the beehive to see what comes out?
I would not like to cite that throwing a stone necessarily, but I believe as we are moving on, we shall find out.
Okay. Then we have one and only. He has so many names. A very good teacher who teaches both good and bad things. But today I know he'll teach us a lot of good things. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Klama. The point of correction, I only teach good things. I don't think when I've taught bad things. Anyway, some excellent people may take it in the reverse way.
So contextually,
Exactly.
there are some things that may not be so good.
By names, I'm called Coco Charles Tenet. I'm a professional teacher, physics and mathematics to be specific. I'm a photographer, a filmmaker. When it comes to relation, I'm settled.
You're settled. How settled are you? Do we get settled in relationships just by saying it, or there's something you need to describe to our understanding of how settled you are?
Okay, to be very precise, is I'm married.
You are married.
Yes.
Any kids so far? We shall count the number later. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is Patrick Kilama, and I will be moderating this program. To start with, when we talk about relationships, we're talking about people coming together, the union of two people share love. We are going to be a little bit specific and pay so much attention to the male and female. And today we want to discuss confidentiality in relationships. And the question is going to be, to what extent do you think your partner should be open to you? I think we should start with Mr. Coco. To what extent do you think your partner should be open with you?
Well, thank you. I think to respond to that, I would start by making this clear in my view. You see, when people come into relation or marriage, it's like a declaration of war. You must get ready to fight. And you know, when you declare war, what you expect out of war. There are a lot of challenges. And it is your ability to tackle these challenges that will measure your success in a relationship. Now, one of the key weapons that must really make sure your relation exists without serious challenges is trust, as you have said. And now, meaning that now when you are going for this war of relation, if you have no trust, and then you are going to stumble somewhere. Every time you'll be looking at yourselves like, with suspicions. Someone picks a call, you start getting suspicious. The other one does this, you get suspicious. But all in all, for me, I believe that if people would come up and be open, though sometimes they say you may not be that open to the fullest, but if I'm relating to mathematical percentage, if someone can be open to extent of around 70%, then I feel the relation will be successful, because I believe that all of us have weaknesses. And we all
Maybe
have,
to cut you short a bit, we are talking about openness in relationships, and you're saying somebody should be open up to 70%. The 30%, don't you think that 30% is so big? What are some of those things that particular person can keep for him or herself that we can gauge up to about 30%?
well, now, maybe to say this, I would want to reserve the 30% in a way that relation is, actually people call it contract, but for me I call it a permanent deal that someone maybe has declared to come in for.
Wow,
So-
contract.
When you start this, it's a lifetime journey. You don't know what next is going to come. Perhaps I may marry someone today, or I may be in a relation with someone today, and tomorrow I discover this person is either a thief or a wizard. And if given that you were open with all your secrets to this person, I don't know whether you're going to withstand this time the difficulty of either parting with this person when the person knows all what you have. So that's why I'm saying that with the time, if you would start by giving someone 70%, monitor this person, later you increase the percentage perhaps maybe to 20, then you have seen most people by the way getting wedded at the age of 80. Why do you think that happens?
80? 80? No.
Yes, however, it's nice.
Has it happened at
Yes.
80? I think the maximum year is 50, 45, 50.
People go beyond that. In weddings, people go beyond that.
Okay,
So, a little bit.
yes.
Why that one comes is, I believe people always have no trust. Because they believe that once you are wedded, then that is now the seal.
The seal on everything.
Everything. Whether something bad comes or what, you have to continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Your submission has raised some questions, and I feel it's high time we directed these questions to the lady amidst us. Madam, let me call you Madam Cynthia.
Yes, please.
Mr. Charles has raised two pertinent issues here. He's talked about reserving for yourself some percentage of trust and then releasing it on intervals. And then the other thing he has talked about is waiting to decide on whether certain issues are supposed to be told to your spouse or not in a relationship. Do you agree with his idea?
To some extent, I will agree to his idea. But this is how I would like to bring it out. Opening up, like, because that now involves trust. You trusting someone and that other person also trusting you back. We have something in suspense like the 30%. I'm now trying to imagine you've kept for yourself the 30, so I should also reserve the 30 that is now yielding up to also some other percentage.
Yes.
So we shall all like be reserved. You've reserved your part, I've also reserved the part of me. There are some windows of life. One of it is the open closed window, whereby I will release out part of myself, and there are some things that I will definitely reserve for myself alone. Like, it will be only me knowing them. Now when we come into a relationship, most times, like nowadays, some people in the relationship, you find when it comes to their money issues, they will tell you, I have a centenary bank account, but for the Stanbic, they will not tell you. that means like that is now some part of the reservations. So as a lady, I might also be having some other account and I also reserve it up for myself. But what I can say, in my opinion, we had something also else coming in, that should we first wait, we see how the person is. I would like to say this: before you begin coming together, why didn't you first analyze that person very well? Why didn't you first open up your eyes very well and you see properly this person? So that the time when you're together, you say, okay, now I'm going to open up. If I told you, see that you're not going to open up, you're still seeing, then continue. It's well, nobody's forcing you. It's not a rush. Relax, stay cool, and you
Now,
keep on studying the
we
person.
are filtering the idea, and I feel it's also derailing a bit from it. We have this idea, we even take these vows in church, that when two people unite, they become,
One.
now you are becoming one. And yet here we are discussing about reserving some secrets for yourself. Now, mathematically, he brought a mathematical concept here that we need to rely on, maybe to judge the percentage trust, if for any case. She said the other one will reserve 30, and then this other one also reserves 30. Isn't that 60% already in question? Then we also have 200%, 200% love meter, if we could put it that way, in question here. Why would you keep secrets from yourselves, yet the ultimate definition of such a relationship is coming together as one? I think when people come together as one, they come to share love. So what is the essence of reserving the secret? I think this question goes to my friend here, Senior Chair.
First of all, I don't agree with Madam Cynthia and Mr. Charles Coco
Oh yeah.
to reserve something for yourself, yet you claim to be one. First of all, we have to know what trust, this trust you're talking about, is. How do you translate trust? Maybe we translate trust differently, but to me, trust is the faith I have in someone that I rely on. That is trust to me. Now, if I have faith in this person and this is someone I really rely on, why should I reserve something from that person? Remember, if your partner or your wife or your husband gets to realize that there is something, that 30%, first of all, is too much. The 30% is too much. You need to open up. Let the person know that you trust them. That is one. Because if 30%, no. Because, I mean, you can't reserve it. If you trust the person, then the person should be able to trust you back. Now, Madam Cynthia talked of, it reminds me of what your left hand has, the right hand should not know. Now it's coming there because you're hiding your centenary bank account because he has told you one account and he has two. The reason why Madam Cynthia will start hiding the other centenary bank account, because maybe she has realized that you have two bank accounts, but you've told her only one. Now, why should I also tell you that I have three accounts? Because you've told me you have one and you have two. So I don't agree with Madam Cynthia and Mr. Charles Coco that we should keep our 30%. Me as me, I will give it all. I will tell you. So that if you happens to find it, I mean, there are things we have done in life that we are not proud of back in the days. Now this person has to know it's me of today, not me of yesterday. So whatever I've done, I will tell you. I was in a marriage before, I got to you. I have a child. It's traumatizing for your partner to realize that you have a kid and you've not told her or him about it. First of all, it will go in the person's mind that you don't trust her or you don't trust him. How about he has not told me about his kid he has? If that is about is in the 30%. You understand?
Okay, now that brings this question. We need to understand something. The question was, to what extent should your partner be open to you? And then we have two antagonizing issues here. My friend is not agreeing with the lady here, and neither has he agreed with Mr. Coco, because he feels we need to be open. It brings this question: what are some of those things you feel are so risky for you to be open about, so risky that they do not protect the relationship? Take an example. Your wife has been raped by a thief, and he knows that your libido will be killed completely if she dare tries to inform you that somebody tampered with your goodies. That is question number one. The other issue is, maybe you have some traits you've been fighting you've been fighting to control so that they do not interfere with your love life. And somewhere, somehow, you feel you can manage this even without telling your spouse, because you don't want the relationship to be compromised. Is that worth keeping away from your partner? Or you people suggest that all this should be exposed when you're in a relationship? In just one word, I mean in just one sentence, I feel each one of you should comment on this. What are some of those things you feel should be kept away from your partners? Maybe we start from there. We're starting with you.
First of all, the reason why I don't agree that we should withhold some things. Love is different. I mean, if someone is meant to be yours, it doesn't matter what you tell that person. If the person loves you, there is nothing completely that will change that. I mean, if you tell someone something after you've been in a relationship, yeah, I mean the person will be a bit disturbed. Why? Because you've kept it away for some time. But trust me, if you tell this person before and the person gets to hear the information from another person, the person will not be hurt like, I've just got to know about it now. So if someone is meant for you, trust me, no one will disturb that. That person will always be yours. So don't try to keep some things away. I know some things always get to disturb the relationship because of the information we get to know. But if someone hears something from you and the person decides to run away, trust me, that person wasn't meant for you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. That is still pushing us onto our same question of the trust. With me, I agree that we need to have the opening part. The communication will work out so much. The way you approach someone on telling the person a certain thing that happened. Something might have happened that is hurting, and so you study your partner or the person that you're with, and then you know the time and how to communicate it out. That will be so much of help.
Okay, this Mr.
Yeah,
Charles.
still I will get stuck to my opinion or my view, so that you can't unleash all your trust on someone, especially in the name of relation. members, these are realities. We are human beings. What we are talking here is what happens. I have a belief that there is nobody who is completely open and will say everything 100% to a partner. That's what at least I'm very much sure. At least there is some reserve in someone is going to have. And this one comes right from the onset, as I say. When you start a relation, remember you are getting someone, perhaps in a Ugandan setting, we assume around 18 years or plus. You don't know this person for the last 18 years. Get an example, someone is marrying at the age of 30. You have not understood me for 30 years. Within a duration of 2 years, how do you give me all the trust? You get it?
Yes, yes.
Now, this one pushes him to this point that when you get someone, it's like one person saying that the day you fall in love with someone, that person, God has given you that person in form of a raw material. Now, a raw material is not a finished product. So it is up to you now to keep on molding this person until perhaps you get what you want at the end.
Okay.
And as you're molding this person, you may not again even get the whole product that you wanted. Some rejects are always there.
Some rejects will
And
always
these
keep
rejects are
coming
always
up.
contributing to this small percentage. At the end, you may find it's around 40%.
Okay.
Now, in conclusion, for me, I would still remain and say that
Don't release everything.
don't release
All right.
everything. After perhaps maybe some time,
Yes.
then now you can, after knowing that, okay, I think what I'm trying to study now, the remaining percentage is fine. So
Thank you so much. You're still watching Shakers TV, and our discussion today is about relationships. We have unending questions we ask about relationships, and our interest here is to find out which of these unending questions can we answer, and how best can they handle our relationships like they ought to be. I'm Patrick Kilama, and my panelists here are giving us brilliant ideas on how best relationships should work. We started with trust, and trust leads us to another question here. You see, in relationships, we have issues that come out of trust. If you look at most of the fights that we have in our relationships, the foundation is usually mistrust. Maybe somebody hit the wife because of a text message from an ex, or an OB, or an OG. Maybe there was some exchange of hard words. Because of ogling, your wife does not have a better behind, so as you're moving, you turn and look at the other one for long, and you will have to answer questions why you overlooked at her. Now, the question here is, I want us to explain something to the viewers out there in simple sentences that maybe they can understand. And I'm sure out there, they will also be giving us their opinions in the comments below. The question is, how do you deal with jealousy and insecurity in a relationship?